Just a quick update here. Don't know if you can see me. I notice that the camera sometimes will be all dark when I'm talking, and other times not. Doesn't matter. My cousin will be gone in a week. A little over a week, say a week and a half, whatever. She'll be gone next week sometime. I'm not going to tell you exactly when. And I'll be all alone again. But at least she's deep and intelligent and aware. And for the record, due to my mother's lack of depth or awareness or whatnot, my cousin, just like is always the case with me, is pulling out her hair, okay? She's trying to get things through to my mom. I'm like, yeah, welcome to my nightmare, you know? Both my cousin and I'm not going to go obviously give you details on the lawsuit, but both my cousin and I are just in shock of how the lawyer is pursuing, my mother's lawyer is pursuing things or whatnot. And we tried to get my mom, well, can you explain why he's doing it this way? Or why is this happening? Because my lawyer says so, you know. Just like, you know, neither my cousin nor I believe that you just bow down to authority, okay? Because my lawyer says so is what my mom will say to us. What my cousin and I would be doing is, if we were with my mother, saying, okay, exactly why are you doing it this way, Mr. Lawyer, okay? And believe me, it's something that's shocking to both me and my cousin. We don't understand what's going on. I am, of course, you know, I was just listening to a little bit of Soul by Bon Jovi, you know, when you're mad at the world and you feel like you're losing control. Oh, yeah. That's a fucking understatement, Mr. Bon Jovi, in my case. Yeah, mad at the world, feel like you're losing control. Showed my cousin the copy of that power of attorney, and she's in shock. She wants my mom to go after criminal charges, elder abuse. She said it outright even before. She's like, oh my God. But she sees the rage in me. She's like, you and your mother are toxic. I'm like, I know. Why do you think, you know, people call me a selfish bitch or whatnot? I chose to go back to the shelter when my mom wanted me to stay there because I knew I was filled with too much rage, okay, towards her over this, okay? So that's where we stand now. My cousin has been through all kinds of shit in her own life with her parents and whatnot, so she told me, I mean, I'm surprised I haven't gotten an ulcer over this because it's so frustrating. She and I are both like, what the fuck is that lawyer thinking? What is he doing? Is he even on the up and up? We don't even trust him because he's doing something, you know. I'm not going to spell it out. It really doesn't matter. What matters is both my cousin and I are very intelligent, deep, aware people, and we're both like, huh? Samantha, what do you mean? Why is it being done this way? Because my lawyer says so. Yeah, but meanwhile, with that adorable power of attorney, I mean, I wish my mom would drag Marion into court. My cousin's like, you know what, you deserve damages for this. She's like, my cousin sees it 100%. What went on here? She's reading that power of attorney like, oh my God. I'm like, I know. It's been falling on deaf ears. I've had nobody to turn to for all these years except the strangers on the internet, cousin, okay? And now I have you, but you're leaving. You're going to be 3,000 miles away, and again, I'll be all alone. I mean, not totally, but you know what I mean. I'm pretty much all alone in this, and I have to distance myself from my mom because she just goes along with that, whatever her lawyer says, whereas, you know, you have a right to know what your lawyer's doing. She can't explain it to my cousin. Neither my cousin nor I understand what this lawyer's doing, so we're frustrated as hell, but my cousin's like, has had to scold me. She's like, you get all upset. Yeah, no, because I'm so emotional over this. Because my cousin wrote out this thing of all this things that my mom should have the lawyer do. And I bet you in the end the lawyer's not going to do any of it. And because some of it includes me and making sure a letter goes to the police and to everything, you know, even about Marion needs to stop her slander of me and whatnot. And just Monday, yesterday, my cousin and I were going to bet. I'm like, we don't need to bet. We both know what it is. A letter was, the dogs didn't even bark, but the letter was put in the door quietly. And of course, I knew what it was. It was from the office. And of course, it's, you know, your daughter's not supposed to be there and blah, blah, blah. But what got me is the blatant lie in it and how it was worded. We've heard We've heard that your daughter started some kind of commotion with one of the neighbors. If this is true. That fucking wording. So my cousin, I was crying reading her stuff. She wrote a 7-page thing yesterday about all the things my mom should say. And she included me too. She's like, you know, the office needs to stop paying attention and, you know, to hearsay or rumors or whatnot, and can't stop, you know, Samantha's daughter from visiting her. And the woman, you know, it's just, my mom called and the woman's like, you know, she's not, yeah, she can visit though. I can visit. I'm not living there, okay? It's just such bullshit, because it just, and everything sparks my rage, you know? Even my mom, well, because my lawyer, that's how my lawyer wants it, and my lawyer says so, and, you know, my mom's social worker isn't me or my cousin. We'd be sitting there, I mean, not that it should be me, and I understand that because I'm too emotionally involved, but my cousin asked my mom, can I come with you to see your lawyer? My mom says no. Meanwhile, my mom's social worker is the same thing, just sits, she's not even involved, she just might sit there, my mom says, or she leaves the room, but she doesn't question the lawyer's what he's doing. And what he's doing makes absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever to my mother or to me. And the bottom line is that, you know, I thought this was going to be done instantly. That power of attorney is not worth the paper it's printed on. My cousin's appalled. You know, she wrote out this awesome thing that I bet the lawyer won't even read. We don't know what's going on, and my mom can't explain it because she doesn't ask questions. She just accepts. She accepts whatever the lawyer tells her. She accepts. And since it's making no sense whatsoever to my cousin or to me, to either of us, we're both just pulling out our hair. And in the end, my cousin said to me, you know, Laura, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make her drink. She tried to get through to my mom, you know. We just want to know why. Why is it being done this way? It doesn't make sense, okay? It doesn't make sense, any of it. And just as an aside, the woman in the office is not even cooperating with things that she's been asked to cooperate with, because I know why. I told my cousin, and my cousin said it even before I did. My mother has been in and out of mental hospitals the entire time she's owned that house. So to the woman in the office, who Marion's the nice, sane one, the woman, and my mother is the nutcase, and so what if my mom's getting a lawyer? It doesn't mean anything. The woman in the office doesn't have to hand over documents, doesn't have to hand over anything unless she wants to, or unless she has court ordered or whatnot. You know, that's what my cousin said. The lawyer can't make her do anything. My cousin 100% believes my mom should take Marion to court for slander and libel and trickery. And, you know, one of the last things she put is Marion took advantage of my mother's love and trust of her sister, Marion. You know what I mean? And it's sick. And I'm like, yeah, and I've been all alone in this for 5 years, okay? And I should talk to that lawyer, but I'll never get to because I'm just shit. So I really appreciate Sally, you know, my cousin Sally, I appreciate that you included me. You know, Marion must desist from all slander libel of Samantha or her daughter Laura, blah, 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 whatever. I appreciate it, but you have to understand one thing. When it comes to everybody in my mother's life, including the so-called professionals in her life, nobody gives a shit about me. They don't care what Marion does to me, because look what Cheryl and Mary recently, it would have been so easy for them to have cared what Marion was doing to me, and they didn't give a shit, either of them. They wouldn't. When they were face-to-face with Marion, I wasn't even brought up, played right into Marion's hands that I don't matter, only she matters in my mom's life. My cousin wrote it all out, how Marion tried to, you know, isolate. It's all an abuser. It's an abuser. It's elder abuse. And we wish my mother would go after blood, but she's not gonna. She just wants the case money back. She won't even go after blood to get extra money for all the emotional distress and whatnot, and you can't force her to. And my cousin will be gone. She's like, she said, I'm doing the best I can, but I can only do so much, Laura. I'm like, I know. And you have to understand that I don't think that any of these things that should be done are going to be done, because my mother is too wishy-washy, and so is her social worker. And what my mother needs, I'm too emotionally attached, but you're not. I mean, you can stay calm. What my mother needs is someone like my cousin to be sitting and saying, look, lawyer, what are you doing? These things need to be done. I wrote out this 8-page thing that needs to be done, but my mother won't even let my cousin go with her to the lawyer. So, you know, as it stands now, I don't like it that Marion can still walk in this place whenever she wants to. You know, I mean, I just don't like any of this. I don't like it. I don't understand what's going on. This is my cousin, okay? We don't understand. And obviously I'm not going to get into details. I'm not going to reveal the lawsuit out here. I'm only going to say has to do with, you know, with my mom. I can say my mom getting in a car again, that affects me, and that upsets me, and I need to just distance myself emotionally, even from this fucking lawsuit, because my cousin has seen my rage. She's had to tell me Laura, you gotta let me talk to your mom or go in the other room, and she even said to me, I can understand why you go to the library so much and whatnot. Yeah, I decided to stay here because my mom said that I could, but I'm not going to stay there all the time, you know. It's kind of like I'm going to give you time to be alone with my mom and whatnot, and, you know, this is such bullshit. It's not even making any sense. And my cousin has studied law. She studied it. She doesn't get what's going on either, and we're both pulling out our hair. And my mom, you know, she'll just listen to her lawyer, but my mom can't explain. My cousin and I would be, okay, Laura, I don't understand why you're doing it this way when it comes to getting rid of this bullshit power of attorney that you say is not worth the paper it's printed on. Okay, why are you doing it this way? But my mom doesn't ask questions, which means my cousin and I don't understand anything that's going on, and my mom can't explain. You know how frustrating that is? And I said to my cousin, hey, now you know why I drink.